to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Sonia and I would love it if you could subscribe, and if you're not already an existing subscriber, welcome back. So if you've already seen me like this, I am bulk filming a couple of videos because I'm so behind at the moment on all of my updates for the end of the month. Today is going to be my first update for my Pan Those Eyeshadows. So this is a project that was created by Alexi. I will leave her channel below, and this is where you try to hit pan or a usage goal on your eyeshadows in your collection. So I have rolled 5 eyeshadows in from different palettes. I can't roll any new eyeshadows in this month, which I kind of expected. I wasn't expecting to finish any of my goals or hit pan any of the eyeshadows, but you know what, that's okay. I've actually been enjoying using them apart from one, but I will get to that. So without further ado, let's just get into it. I have a feeling this is going to be a short and sweet video. So I'm just going to show you the palettes and then talk a little bit about it. I haven't taken any photos of any looks or anything because I just never seem to be able to get that to work and it doesn't look as good. What I will do is, I do have photos from the intro and the first update, so I'll put them in the screen when I'm talking about them, and I say here, I don't know which side it will go. So the first one I'm going to talk about, I don't know if this is in order of how I rolled them. I think it is, but don't quote me on that. First one is my Revolution Nath palette. And before I brought this in, I had not used it once, but I love the colour story on this palette. This is just me in a palette. Pinks and neutrals. The shade that I brought in was Lotus. Hopefully you're going to be able to see this. Like I said, I'll put pictures on the screen, so hopefully that will show you a little bit better. But I feel like I've got a pretty decent dip in this one now, actually. So what I will say is, I only count my uses per day, so every time I dip, I don't count that, I just count the use per day. I may have dipped 3 or 4 times into it, but I only count that as one. I've used this 5 times. Now, I did film my intro pretty late. I only decided I was going to do this pretty late last month, so I didn't have a full month's use of this, but also I wasn't wearing makeup for a period of time as well. So I'm really happy with the usage on this and how that looks after 5 uses. I think I might be able to have pan in this by next update, because that is my goal for this one, because like I said, this palette is very much me, and even though it's a bit of a darker shade, it does come off quite pink on the eye, which is what I love. So I think I might actually be able to have this one done by next update, but this is the only matte I have in this project, so I may have to use some of the other palettes if I don't roll another matte for this one. I've used that 5 times and I'm enjoying using that to now. The next palette is this one, and this is the ABH Jackiana palette. So I did use this one before I put it in this project. I didn't use this shade, and it is this one here, so it is sponsored. I feel like I've got a pretty good dip on this. Now, I do only want to use this 20 times or hit pan, so I think I might even have pan before I hit 20 uses. I'm really enjoying it. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I do, but I feel like I'm definitely opening my eyes this year and allowing myself to come out of my comfort zone, and I would have never used this shade before, but yeah, I've surprised myself a lot this year with stuff I didn't think I was going to like but do. And I'm so glad I managed to pick this up. So this was my January purchase for myself, and I have been eyeing this for so long, and I'm so glad I have it in my collection now. I absolutely love the colour story on it. So I've used this shade 4 times up to now. So I feel, again, that's pretty good for 4 uses. However, what I will say is the shimmer formula on this is very soft. Okay, the next palette is my Beauty Bay Berries palette. So this was a very recent purchase, so I hadn't had a chance to get around to using it before this project. And the shade I have in this is Cloud. So it's this one here, and again, you can see it's definitely had some use on it. So I am alternating this with the next palette I'm going to show you, and also the Revolution Nath palette, because I put the matte pink in my crease. I either use this one, the next palette I'm going to show you, or I put all 3 on my eye. I have really been enjoying using this. I think it's a beautiful palette. Again, very pink, which is very me. I've used this one 3 times. I haven't used this one as much, but I'm really happy with that. I do want to hit pan in this one, so I feel like this one might take a while because I don't know how deep the pan is, but I don't know, I just have a feeling this one might take me a little bit longer, but I'm not complaining because I'm really, really enjoying this as well. The next palette is my Natasha Denona Love palette. So this was the palette I was talking about where I alternate the shimmers with the Revolution Naif palette, and the shade I've put in this is Giving. I'm just going to say it now. This is very dirty, but this is the shade here. Hopefully you can see it. Again, another really, really beautiful palette. I got this for Christmas off my nan, and I've used this one 4 times. So again, I want to hit pan in this. And I know when I use my Sunrise palette, I had a matte, and that took me quite a while to hit pan, but I have a pretty decent dip on this, so I might be able to get this done a lot faster than that matte one. I don't know how long though. Do you know what? I feel like I might surprise myself next update. I may have a couple of, I may have 3 that I might be able to roll out based on what I can see, like with the dips and stuff. So I might actually be able to have this one rolled out. But again, another one that I've really been enjoying using, and I feel like I've had a lot better of experience with this palette up to now than I have the Sunrise palette, because I find some of those ones are quite patchy, whereas I haven't had the experience with this one yet. But I mean, I've only really used that one shade, so I need to see what I think to the other shades in that, especially the matte ones. And then last but no means least, I have this Too Faced Razzle Dazzle Bad to the Berry. Now, this is the one I don't like. I don't like this shade. Out of all of the shades in this palette, this one I got would have been the last one I would have picked, and it is Bad to the Berry, and it is this one here. I never use shades like this because I don't really put anything in my outer corner. I don't use eyeliner. I've used it twice, both those ways, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like it. I thought it was quite patchy on the outer corner, and I don't use liner, so I'm really poor at doing eyeliner, so I didn't like the way that looked either. One of my lovely subscribers did mention about putting this as a base and then putting a shimmer on the top, so I'm going to keep this in to try it that way. But if I don't like it that way either, I'm just going to roll the shade out, and I'll maybe roll another palette or just another shade in this palette because I don't like it. I don't like the 2 ways that I've used this, but I'm willing to try it the other way and see, because usually I love Too Faced palettes, but the experience I've had with that shade, I've not been wowed, and like I said, I used that twice. I do only want to use that 20 times, but honestly I feel like trying to use it 20 times is going to be a struggle, and I don't want to. I don't want to. But like I said, I'll try it the one time. If I like it as a base, I will continue to use it, but if not, I'm just going to roll it out. I feel like what I'll do is I'll most probably just roll another shade in this palette because they do have some other beautiful shades in this palette that I can use. So that is it. That is my update. I'm happy with the progress that I've had on these palettes, and I'm hopeful, fingers crossed, I'll have 3 to roll out next month, but potentially 4 to choose, depending on how I get along with that. So I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and it'd mean the world to me if you could subscribe if you don't already. I feel like this is going to be a pretty short and sweet update, which usually my updates aren't, because I just talk a lot. But I hope you enjoyed it, and until my next video, thank you for coming by. See you later.